Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Look, I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a long time. A lot's happened. A lot's happened in these last couple months. I can only say we're here now. That's all that matters. A couple housekeeping things before we get started on this wonderful topic right here. One, I did not like the direction the podcast was going in. I think there was a lot of times where we were talking about things that we had no business talking about. Honestly, I don't really care to talk about relationships. I would like to talk about sports, but I don't think this is the channel for that. The reason I started the Into the Madness podcast was to dive into the madness of humanity, of the universe, of like just life in general. And I don't feel like we've really been representing that. I think that's partly my fault. I've been making content catering to what I thought would be the masses, and that's on me. No, I'd like to keep this community small. I like to keep it tight knit, free thinkers. Also, I'm no historian. I'm no philosopher. I'm no, so when I talk about these subjects, I want it to be an open discussion. I don't want it to be hateful comments about. I mean, of course, you can say I like to know what you believe in, of course, but I don't want it to be bashing each other's beliefs. And if somebody doesn't think the same way as you, respect that. That's all. No, nobody knows what happens till it's over, right? So, all right. With all that being said, let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. So, the origins of humanity. Deuce the G. Okay, so what started humanity? When I ask you that question, usually I get one of three things. It could be religion, God created, depending on what you believe in, maybe Adam and Eve, and they were the start of all humans. You could believe in evolution, how species evolve and adapt over time to their environment, or an abstract theory, maybe a combination of both. Like you believe that God maybe set in place the stepping stones for evolution to even take place in the first place. Some sort of abstract theory that's could be one of those three. So what you believe in, I want you to drop that in the comments right now, man. Let's keep this tight knit, man. Come on. All right, let's start off with evolution. So early hominins were 6 to 7 million years ago. Ridiculous. They say our lineage split from the ancestors of modern chimpanzees. I think that's usually the first thing that people say about evolution. How could evolution be a real thing if, chimps are still walking the earth with us? But they usually don't consider the subspecies, like how two of the same species can branch off into different variations but still be under the same family. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of theories. But these early relatives, they began walking upright, which is crazy, huge deal. And then 4 to 2 million years ago, our ancestors started fully walking upright. They lived in Africa. They're still not human yet, but human adjacent, like this picture right here. Looking at you with the eyes. So pretty. All right, these are our actual ancestors. So 2.5 million years ago, the first stone tools appear. Our early ancestors developed bigger brains and more complex social behavior. So this is where we start to see something we recognize as humans. Like they start to look like us. Of course, who knows what their language was like? I'm sure somebody does. Go ahead, drop the video in the comments. Let me know. Okay, so modern Homo sapiens were 300,000 years ago, and they evolved in Africa. Shout out to my brothers and sisters. They develop language, symbolic thinking, art, and develop culture. And around 60 to 70,000 years ago, humans migrate out of Africa and spread across the globe. And it all goes downhill from there. And then there is religion. So there have been over 10,000 religions throughout human history, but we'll only cover 5. Yeah, we'll cover the 5 modern religions right now and see how it portrays humanity's start, which should be pretty interesting. Let's do it. So the Christian and Islamic belief. So these religions believe that humanity started with Adam and Eve. They have different stories, but the same outcome. This is to be speculated to be 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. So evolution believes what I just told you, that our ancestors that we split off from were millions of years ago, and then our modern Homo sapiens were 300,000 years ago. And then the modern religious belief only believes that to be 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, where modern humans evolve from. And Hinduism and Buddhism, these religions actually don't teach a beginning, but instead focus on cycles and rebirth, which I think is pretty cool. And then there's the abstract theory. It's a mix of mystic, evolution, and religion. There's several different versions of this, and false gods leading to evolution. So this is where you gotta put on your tinfoil hat a little bit, right? And start thinking into the realm of possibility. Really start opening your mind up. I'm not gonna start. We're gonna start off light. We're gonna sprinkle into the madness. All right. We're not gonna jump straight into it. Let me know what you think. I have my own thoughts. Thank you for watching. Keep this short, brief. Let me know what you know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, man. We're back at it. Into the madness. Let's go.
Bitch, we still tipping on foes. Don't book me for shows if I can't bring my Glock on the stage. 19. Call me Young Rasta, I'm swinging this chopper. I aim at your head and I'm chopping your dread.